Oh my goodness, what a awesome day it is today. I am so glad that you are going to be joining us today for this day one of August 2020's a masterclass here in the Woman Up Choosing My Chosen Path community full of fabulous women. And it seems like the internet's a little bit funky, so I'm hoping that it'll all work itself out. Please let me know if you can hear me, you can see me. I will be doing a little bit of introduction, then I will also share with you what you can expect for the day, and we will get right to the content. All right, so I am Sarah Sparks. I am your soul's guide to freedom. That is a title that Spirit has given me. I'm the founder of Create the Spark. I am a Midwest, Iowa farm raised gal who now lives in South Carolina. I am college educated. I have a BA in Human Resources, a Master's in Public Administration, my Training and Design Development Certificate. I'm a former local government employee turned business owner who is no longer ashamed of her spiritual woo-ness. And now I allow Spirit to speak through me. So that's how you all know me as this channeler, this guide, mentor, coach, and I coach highly intelligent, organized, funny, fabulous professionals, primarily women who feel lost, tired, worn out. And I teach them and I coach them to live and thrive in their chosen path, all the while teaching them how to listen to their divine guidance, their inner wisdom. So that's a little bit about me because I know that there are some new fabulous people that are here. And if you want to connect with me more, please feel free to pop on my website, which is www.sarahsparks.love. Of course, you could always message me here on Facebook. My intention, I want to make sure that everything is still working. So please feel free to introduce yourself. Put in the comments your name, where you're from. What is your intention for this 3-day spiritual obsession masterclass? Why did you want to come? Share with us. Let's get this conversation rolling. My intention for today, this week, is for you to take back your power. Maybe you never gave it away. Maybe you were not like me and you never gave it away, but at some point in my life, I gave my power away and I took it back. And I am now listening to my divine guidance. I'm trusting myself. I'm honoring myself. I'm respecting myself. I respect and honor others. And I am living my chosen path. And so that is what this is about. And so my intention is for you to take back your power. So feel free. Let's get this comments going. I hope you can comment. I hope I can see those comments. Let me make sure on my phone so I can connect with you. I just want to make sure that my all right, so I can see that Courtney liked the video. So if you guys could comment, make sure that this is still like y'all can see and everything is all good. I want this to be interactive. If you would like to follow along with questions and really dive deep for yourself and journal about things that will be coming up, hop on to the Units tab. If you're watching on a computer, there the tabs are on the left hand side and it's in Units and it's Unit 4 and it's called It's Time August 2020 a 3-day spiritual obsession masterclass, and it's the first post that's in there is day 1 workbook. There are questions that are in there that we will be covering. Please feel free to print that out to have that available as we are working through this, whether you are watching live or the replay. If you're watching live, type in live. If you're watching the replay, type in replay. I want to make sure that I'm connecting with you. I'm also on my phone watching to make sure that I could see if anybody is commenting or has any sort of questions or is messaging me as well. All right. I think I've taken care of housekeeping items. All right, let's just hop right to it, shall we? So today is about the puzzle piece that you are and putting all those puzzle pieces back together. sometimes we give ourselves away. Have you ever given up everything that you knew and loved about yourself for someone else? Maybe not everything. Maybe that's like too dramatic. But I was pretty darn close. Did you ever take a job that wasn't the right fit for you because you needed the money? I mean, I did. So one of the stories that I wanted to share that I want to share with you, I was, and feel free to comment, like if you've ever experienced this. I was working in my first job, and I took it because I had a lot of interviews prior to this, and I was like, listen, Sarah Sparks, you just have got to take this job. And so I did, and it was decent pay, and it was going to get my husband and I at the time like up and going and all the things. And I was a transit operations supervisor for the city of Clinton, and there was an incident that I was helping some bus advertising because they used to be able to purchase bus advertising on the sides of the buses, and I would be the one to take care of that and process the information. And a county supervisor, I guess you would call him, came in to renew his advertising for the buses, and I was processing his information and his payment. And my coworker came in as this gentleman and I were having this conversation. And she came in, and she and I really didn't have a really great relationship. There was a lot of tension between us, and I could probably have a lot of excuses. But I think a lot of it had to do with my beliefs about myself. I feel that a lot of what I experienced in my life when I was giving away my power had a lot to do with the beliefs that I held true for myself and how I drew in those experiences to make what my beliefs true. So I'll carry on with this example. And so the gentleman and I were processing the information and his payment, and my coworker walks in, and I had like a sliding glass door, and she walked in through the door and was like, "Oh, you got that all taken care of, Miss Smarty Pants, Miss College Educated, blah blah blah." And she had not gone to college. She had to start her work life right after high school. She had children, and she had to do that. She, I guess, didn't have the opportunity. I don't really know. We were never that close in the first place to be able to have that sort of open conversation. And I remember like that moment and how I felt and how I took it personal. And a lot of those little side comments that were made during this job that I was at by this particular coworker, I would take personal. And I didn't have the awareness or understanding or knowledge that nothing that anybody ever does has anything to do with me. I just took it on because I wanted so badly, the belief that I held true was I wanted people to accept me and to love me. And so I would contortion myself into whatever they needed me to be. And that was a way that I gave pieces of myself away. Have you ever experienced that? Or maybe you have in the past, maybe you have worked through that. Maybe you're working through that now. Maybe you're like, oh my gosh, my life was so freaking awesome, and now it's not. Like, what's going on? When we are working together, we get to that core limiting belief of, okay, what is it that I believe about myself that stops me in all areas of my life? I'll give you another example. Have you ever given yourself away to another person so that they could love you, respect you, accept you, believe that you were enough? Maybe it was a romantic relationship. So I was 18 years old and I was in high school I spent my whole senior year without a boyfriend. I didn't want a boyfriend. I wanted to go to college, be a free single woman. I took that year to really dive into what are my interests, what do I like, what I don't like, sports, fitness, eating, clothing, subjects, all the things. I just really dove into, okay, this is who I am. This is really what I love. Then my now ex-husband came in to the picture. I was at a concert with one of our friends, and the gal who I was with, he also knew. So he asked her what my number was, and she gave it to him. He called me and asked me out for our first date, which was to a fair, a county fair. And I remember when I was getting ready for that first date, I stood in front of my closet doors, and I was obviously still living at my parents' house, and there was these accordion doors on top that were like the doors, so they wasn't like closet doors, they were like accordion doors. Do you guys like ever have had those too? And I would open them, and I looked at my closet and I was like, okay, this gentleman that I'm going to go on this date with is about half an inch. He's a little bit shorter than I am. I definitely can't wear my wedges that I love. Oh, and we're going to go to a county fair, so I better not wear like my flowy, flashy, fun dresses. Like, I should probably wear a pair of jeans. And then, this like bluish, pale blue top with a ribbon. It was so not me, but that is what I wore, and I didn't wear any jewelry, and I'm like a big flashy earring kind of gal, big ring kind of gal, and I used to always wear a spoon ring on my finger. I like took all that off because I was like, well, he likes country music. I really don't like country music. He's a farmer. I know that he likes really simple things. So like, okay, I need this guy to like me because I haven't dated for a really long time. It's like everything that I had worked for, I just gave away, and I like intentionally gave it away. And the thing is he never got to know the real me. He got to know a version of me, but not really the real me. And that did not set us up for a successful marriage, for a successful relationship. I gave away my power to another human being so they could accept me and love me. So some of those questions in the workbook, I'm going to pull up the workbook one moment. Okay, so some of those questions. Have you ever given up everything that you knew and loved about yourself for someone else? Just kind of like the story. Or in a romantic relationship. That would be with my ex-husband. Did you ever take a job that wasn't really the right fit for you for money? Did you give up a piece of yourself for a friendship? What I want to get across in today's conversation and training is that if something is inside of you and it is driving you crazy, what I want you to ask yourself is, are all these other people, like, you're driving me crazy and you're driving me crazy and you're driving me crazy, is it the other people that are driving you crazy? Or is it something within you that is driving you crazy? From what Spirit has shared with me, is that our soul, like when we feel that disconnect, that frustration, is that our soul has already moved on. It has elevated. It is like, and our beingness, our humanness, is not seeing where our soul has already gone. It is not caught up to that elevation. And our soul's like, come on, girlfriend, get it together, let that shit go. come on, let's go. And our soul is like trying to drag that mind and that body to get into alignment. And another question that I want you to ask yourself and journal about. So maybe not, this conversation is just prompting you to think and go deep. All right. So, what belief do you have about yourself that stops you in all areas of your life? Like I said, for me, I wanted to be accepted, completely accepted by everyone. And this, as I shared those two different stories with you about the job and the husband, there's numerous others. It affected every aspect of my life. If you really want to move forward, if you really want to put all the pieces back together, and you want to feel whole and complete, there are two things that I suggest that you do. Are you ready for them? Are you ready to write them down? I still can't see any comments, and I don't know. Usually there's like conversation, and there's like 9 people on, so usually there's a conversation happening. So I don't know if there's just something funky with my connection. So I am sorry, but I will be like responding to any comments that are coming up. I literally can't see anything. So we're going to keep going though, okay? So there are two ways that I suggest that you move forward to begin to put the pieces back of yourself back together. Are you ready? Number 1, listen to your divine guidance. Listen to that inner wisdom, that voice that is speaking from within you or outside of you, if that's where you feel it. Listen to that. Trust that. And the second is to find what your chosen path is, your purpose, your calling, and then live it and thrive in it. Those two things have completely turned my life around. Listening to my divine guidance, I truly believe, by not listening to it, brought me to a place of frustration, blame, guilt, shame. And it was the acceptance that I had this gift. It is the acceptance of my spiritual woo-woo-ness, of no longer being ashamed of it, that brought back my power, and I'm able to stand in who I really am now. Then, knowing what my chosen path is keeps me aligned each day. And something shifted in me when I finally realized, like I had known, like Spirit has been giving me messages for years. And when I found out, hey, this is why you're here. You are here to channel people's chosen paths. You are here to give a home for the soul. You are here to give space to people to step up and be the being that they have been placed on this earth to be. And when I felt that and I saw that, and you are like, and Spirit's like, you are this pure love, Sarah. This is why you're here. It freed me, and it gave me self-acceptance that I had been seeking outside of myself over and over and over. It gave me such clarity and peace, confidence, trust to show up for each and every single one of you every single day, to channel live on Rapid Fire Channeling, to show up at events and channel people's chosen paths, allowing Spirit to speak through me. How cool is that? And I'm not saying that every chosen path is like mine. It's not at all. So sometimes chosen paths look like selling insurance and loving on children and protecting them. Sometimes chosen paths look like being a vessel of God's grace. Some chosen paths look like being a training, design, and developer at an HR firm instead of being a teacher. Sometimes chosen paths look like an IT director, IT software developer that my husband is. And he's using his spiritual gifts to do a technical job. Sometimes we are spiritual advisors for politicians. I mean, it's just, but when you know it, there's this clarity that comes in. All right, so let me make sure that I'm covering all the details for you about putting your all the puzzle pieces back together again. I covered the listening to your divine guidance and living your chosen path. I just want to add a little bit more about the living your chosen path. So that second portion, it is you being your truest, most authentic, spiritual, soulful, you being you in every single way. Whether it be you being you as a mother, as a sister, as a wife, a partner, a lover, a cook, a business owner, an employee, an aunt, whatever you are. It's owning who you are, what you create, what you say and do and be, owning what you have and the value that you add to this world. And by listening to that divine guidance, you get your mind, body, and soul get into alignment. So it's like, you know what? Today I'm going to take back my power by doing yoga. Today I'm taking back my power. I'm going to eat this broccoli. Today I'm going to take back this power and eat this chocolate cake and say, screw it. I love my body no matter what. I hope you get the gist. Do you have any questions for me before we move on to day 2 tomorrow of this 3-day spiritual obsession masterclass? I hope that by me being open and vulnerable and sharing a couple of stories of how I gave pieces of myself away, I hope you were able to relate and have any aha moments. So whenever you would like to share with me, please feel free to message me your aha moments. Please feel free to comment with any questions and I will respond to you. So much love. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.